Welcome back to another episode of 6th grade math. So today we are going to start talking about adding and subtracting integers. So every one of you know how to add and subtract, but the special thing we are going to be doing is integers. And integers are our positives and our negatives, but there's no decimals or fractions. So we are adding and subtracting positives and negatives. So when we are adding and subtracting integers, we are going to circle the numbers with the sign in front of them. Okay? And we are going to rewrite the numbers. So we're going to circle and rewrite, and you'll see why in just a minute. After we rewrite, we are going to make an integer table. So that's the first thing we are going to practice today. We are just going to circle, rewrite, and put them in the table. So let's look at example number 1. So I have -5 plus 3. So the first thing we need to notice is, yes, we are adding, and we are adding a negative. So we have never done this before. We've done 5 plus 3, but we've never done -5 plus 3. So what we are going to practice is we are going to circle the numbers with the symbol in front. So starting from the back, I'm going to start here at the 3, and I'm going to circle the 3 and the symbol that goes with it. Okay, so the 3, and I'm going to stop at the next number. So that 5 is the next number, so that's all I circle. So I am going to circle the 3 with the symbol, and then the next number is the 5, and I'm going to circle the symbol with it as well. So everything should be in a circle. And I'm going to rewrite. So this 5 is a -5. And this 3, it's a plus 3, but that plus really makes it a positive. So plus 3 and positive 3 are the same thing. So now that we have done that, we are going to make our integer table. And our integer table looks like this. We have a positive side and a negative side. And I am going to take my positive 3, and I'm going to put the 3 on the positive side. I'm going to take my -5 and put the 5 on the negative side. And that is all we are doing today. All right, let's look at example number 2. So on example number 2, this time, I have -4 plus -7. So I'm adding, and I have negatives. So we're going to circle. So I'm going to start with the 7, and I'm going to circle everything in front until the next number. So I go all the way to the next number, which is a 4, and then circle everything. So this one, if you notice, has 2 symbols. That's okay. So when we have 2 symbols, we are going to think of good as your positive and evil as your negative. So when you have a positive and a negative, the way we remember this, good versus evil, in math, evil wins. Evil wins. So we are not going to write positive -7. Evil wins, so this is really a -7. So that's why we rewrite it so we don't get confused with both symbols. And then I can circle this, and there is no change. It's just a -4. So now I have a -4 and a -7. And when I make my integer table this time, I don't have any positives. I just have 2 negatives, so they get stacked on top of each other like that. I have the 4 and the 7. And again, there's no positives, so nothing goes on the positive side. All right, let's look at this next one. 6 minus 10. So I need you to understand that that is not 4, okay? 10 minus 6 is 4. But if I have 6 cookies and I take away 10 cookies, that is not the same thing. So you cannot think of this like 10 minus 6, okay? So what we are going to do is we are going to circle so that -10 is really a -10, okay? And then this 6, we have discussed this. If it doesn't have a symbol, it has an invisible positive sign. So that 6 is a positive 6, okay? So a bunch of people think, oh, it's a -10. It's the same thing as a -10. So on my integer table, sorry, that was kind of wonky. On my integer table, I have a positive 6 and a -10. All right, moving on. Let's look at the next one. So this one, okay, some people get confused by the parentheses. So this parentheses right here is just saying, hey, this is a -8. So ignore the parentheses. This is also not multiplying because there is a symbol in front of it. So if anybody was thinking that's multiplying, that would be like this, where there's no symbols. That's multiplying, and that's not what's happening here. We have a symbol, so this is subtracting. So I'm going to circle everything all the way to the next number. So everything goes there. Now this time I have two symbols. I have a minus and a negative. So now we're going to think of two evils. So if I have two evils or two negatives right next to each other, they are going to merge and make a big old positive sign. So two evils make a positive. So this is a +8, okay? And then this 12, again, since it doesn't have a symbol, it is a +12. So when we make our table, I have a +12 and a +8. All right, and the last one. So let's circle everything in front. So I have a 5 with a plus sign, a 4 with a minus, and an 8 with a negative. So if I rewrite, there are no battles. So this one's pretty simple. This one doesn't change anything. There's no two symbols. When it gets kind of weird, it's when there's two symbols that are next to each other. But on this one, I have 3 numbers. So I just go one at a time. I have a -8 goes here. I have a -4 that also goes on the negative side, and then I have a 5 on the positive. All right, and that is all we're doing today. We will actually start solving later, but I just need you to be able to circle, rewrite, and put them in your table.